You are about to enter the Red and Rev Sports Show experience. Get ready for some real sports talk from some real sports fans who were real sports athletes who have sports knowledge.
Wow! What's up, y'all? Woo! Episode 322. That's right. May be late, but I am here on time. I just got dropped off. Anyway, what's going on today? Man, there's a lot, man. Let's start off with the guy who led the trial of the century has now become the topic of the week. That's right. O.J. Simpson passes on. Man, we have got pitcher injuries out the wazoo. We're going to get into that. Trevor Story, is he ever going to be healthy again? We might get into that. South Carolina and UConn win it all. Couple of girls going pro. Definitely going to talk about that. We're talking about women's basketball to let you know how hot it is. Cam running his mouth again, trying to be hot again. Couple of guys 2 or 3 guys going to the Basketball Hall of Fame. Worthy guys. We're going to get into that. Otani's interpreter finally fights. Well, finally bringing fault to justice. We're going to turn into that. Whew, getting tongue tied, y'all. But anyway, and is anyone going to stop these Denver Nuggets? Or they going to repeat? We're going to get into that. We're going to get into a lot. Let's just get it started right now. Episode 322 is coming to you. Boom.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Red and Rev Sports Show featuring Coach Patrick Thomas. Red and Coach are coming to you live from the ATL show. Giving you real sports talk because we are real sports fans who are real sports athletes who have what, gentlemen? Real sports knowledge. So hang out with your boys, Red, Reverend, Coach, and I guess Armani on some ship somewhere. Nevertheless, giving you episode 322 of the Red and Rev Sports Show. And as is our sports custom on this show, we will now turn our numbers attention to the residential numerologist on the panel, Coach Patrick Thomas, to give us something or someone dealing with those 3 digits, 3, 2, 2. What you got for us, Coach?
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. It's a beautiful day outside. This one is an easy one. And it's current, well, not current, but he played currently. Everybody should know him. He was number 22 for a long time for the Dallas Cowboys, the leading rusher. He ran for so many yards, and he was their linchpin, and I'm sure they need him now. He's a 3-time Super Bowl champion. And like I said, if he could still run like he did in those commercials or tried to run in those commercials, they might be able to use him. Number 322 on your TV and on your radio, Emmitt Smith, baby. Emmitt Smith, his son is currently playing. I forgot what school he went to, but it's Emmitt Smith, number 322.
322, brother Emmitt Smith, 3-time champion of the Dallas Cowboys. Coach, I'm proud of you. That's your rival franchise, being a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, and that was very big of you to give honor where honor is due.
I practiced before I came on so I could get through it and just, I'm good now. I said it, it's over with.
All right, man. Well, you said it.
You could just leave well enough alone, could you, Coach?
I know it.
All right. Let's welcome Revenite Nation. We have some representatives in Revenite Nation on this morning. Good morning to you all. Good morning, Brother Jerry. Glad to have you, sir. Good morning to you, Brother Dana Johnson, Sr. Glad to have you. And the VP is in the airport, slamming down the gavel from Memphis, Tennessee. I hear you, Mr. VP. Ready for another fire episode of the Red and Red Sports Show. We appreciate you being about the gavel business all the way from Memphis. And Jerry said, I hope you're okay, Coach. That had to be hard for 322.
Yeah, well, I know what you're doing, Vince. Dating them Memphis girls now. You ain't got to hide from us. We know. Coming from Memphis on the low. Went to go down there and check my Lakers out of that Grizzlies game last night. Said, man, a girl in Memphis, the Lakers in Memphis. Let me go on out to the Lakers game. Give me a reason to be in town. I got you, Vince. I got you, buddy. We caught him, real. Right. Caught him coming back from the airport this time.
Oh, my goodness. Look at you calling out the VP. All right, man. We want to invite everybody to share this broadcast.
You got a sister, baby. They hook you boy.
Oh, Lord. I don't know, man. She might not. If she does, she might not like you posting all them women on Facebook.
Oh, real. Now you be calling me out now.
But everybody,
put me on blast, man. Get this show started.
All right, everybody, if you don't mind, please share this broadcast on your social media. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and share that link, copy, text it to somebody. If you're on Facebook, hit that share button, let somebody know you are rocking and rolling with the Red and Red Sports Show so that we can have some more people to be a part of Revenite Nation on the Red and Rev Sport Show. So again, we want to welcome Revanite Nation, and I'm glad to be on the show on time this week. Last week, I had to do a leadership training, and also let me just give a big shout out to my church family and to everybody who prayed for brother. I am officially Reverend Dr. Michael Clayton Harris. I passed my defense this past Monday, so I will be getting another degree next month. So I thank y'all so much. And let me just give a big shout out to, as she may be known on this show, Mother Wildcat Harris. She's been phenomenal during my doctoral journey. She's been my editor when it comes to grammar and punctuation for my papers, and I would not have been able to accomplish this feat in my life without her help. So she may not be on yet, but if y'all see her get on, just send up some hearts and send up some love on behalf of the good Reverend, because I'm very appreciative for my mother.
And Rev, let me follow by saying congratulations, buddy. Like I say, it was very well earned, very well deserved. Like I say, just we love our educated leader to get more educated. Now he's gonna give us more education. Like I said, get another title to your name. You're going from the first time I met you, you was Michael Clayton Harris, hot dog of the Mays High basketball team. So I met you again, you was Reverend Michael Clayton Harris. Until now, 6-7 years later, after doing the show, Dr. Michael Clayton Harris. It's an honor, sir, to be your friend,
Yes.
be your co-host, and to be around in your org, man. Thank you for everything you're doing for me. Thank you for being my friend. Thank you for bringing me in your circle. And it's a pleasure, buddy. Congratulations.
Appreciate you, Red. Appreciate
I'm
you.
not doing all that, Red. He took my dope moment. I'm not doing nothing.
I'm sure Coach gonna have some kind words for you later, Red. Don't buy that at all.
I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Well, doggone, we better hurry up before the VP takes up every dope moment there is. He already on a double dope. And
Calm down.
now he got a triple dope, so we better hurry up before he get all
All right,
the
here
dope
we
moments.
come, bitch. Are you doping us away, man?
All right, Coach, we'll start with you, man. What are you doping on this week? What you got?
I'm doping on a young lady, Layla Linda. You may not know her. She's from a small town in North Carolina, but she did something that they call the Holy Grail of sports. And coaching softball for many years, I appreciate what she did. She hit a home run, a solo home run in the first inning. She hit a 2-run home run in the second inning. She hit a 3-run home run in the third inning. And to top it all off, she hit a grand slam to end the game in the 5th inning of one game. She got to get my dope moment. That's big time to see that happening. But hey, she's the Holy Grail, Layla Linda. She gets my dope moment for the week. And Rev, if you can find Yeah Baby, I appreciate it.
Oh, you want Yeah Baby?
Yes, sir.
That's the one you wanted right there.
Yeah.
All right, Red. What
I
are you
didn't find
doping
that out
on?
about that story. That's nice.
Red, what are you doping on, man?
What am I doping on? I think I'm doping on OJ. Now I'll tell you why. Through all his troubles, through all his legal issues, through all his silver case issues and whatnot, OJ left his kids a pretty nice fortune, man. So dope for OJ for taking care of his finances and not leaving his kids here broke. I mean, at least $3 million they get to divide up. So, and I think it's NFL pensions and stuff too. They say OJ taking care of his finances to where he's leaving his kids some wealth. So dope to that, man. I mean, through all the trouble you was in, you still made sure you took care of your finances. So dope for OJ for leaving a legacy to your kids.
All right. I got a dope on something I would have never thought I'd be doping on. That's women's basketball viewership surpassing men's college basketball viewership. Not by 1 million, not by 2 million, not by 3 million, but by 4.1 million people, where the women's championship game between South Carolina and Iowa had a viewership of 18.9 million, being the most watched women's game in years. And it surpassed the Connecticut Purdue men's college basketball championship game, who only had 14.8 million. So big ups to college women's basketball. They were the stars of March Madness. They had all of the star power. And I never would have thought that after watching a women's college game that Sunday, the men's game would be anticlimactic. I was not excited at all to watch the men's basketball game, especially after watching the women's basketball championship game that Sunday afternoon. So big ups to women's college basketball. You all were the star of March Madness. Oh, yeah. All right, Red, we're back on you, man. What are you noping on?
I'm having a nope on one Braves front office and one Braves GM, Alex Anthopoulos. I mean, look, you guys messed around all season long, just twiddling your fingers when it came to this pitching staff. I kept saying, me and Coach sitting here wondering all season long, all these pitchers that's sitting out there, the Blake Snells, the Jordan Montgomerys. Anybody, just a few names you could have added some insurance to this pitching staff. So in case something like this happened, and when you got a guy like Strider who's young, little body, throws real hard, let me bring a name up too. Do you guys remember Johan Santana? You remember how great he was supposed to be? And what happened to him? He was lasted. I'm just saying, I remember him. I remember pitchers like him. So when you have a guy Strider side that throws that hard and is a real strikeout guy, you got to be careful. You got to be careful, and you got to have some insurance behind him. And Alex and the Braves, you did not do your due diligence with the pitching staff. It was like, look, whatever we got on the pitching staff, we're going to trade for sale, and the rest of our offense is going to carry us through. Now, look, that might get us through most games, but what are you going to do when the playoffs start? You got to go into the playoffs with 3, maybe 4, definitely 3 solid pitchers. And right now, we have a maybe Fried, maybe Morton, and a okay Sale. But if the playoffs start today, will any of us have any faith with our Braves going to the playoffs starting today with what we've seen the past week with the way we played against the Mets? No. I'm talking too much. I got to say something for a Braves report. But no on the Braves around the pitching rotation this offseason, because you could have did a whole lot more besides trading for Chris Sale. And I'll say the rest for later.
Red, I done told you before again, this is my last time telling you, leave my boy Charlie Moore alone. I'm not going to say it again. Charlie Moore say he going to come through. He going to win 15 games. Leave Charlie Moore alone.
We could have did something with it. We could have did a lot with that 20 million. But even still trying, we still should sign somebody else. But I'll say
and the crazy thing is, he got that even after he didn't finish the season last year. That's the thing that got me. Peace. All right, let me move on, man. I am noping on Zach Edey being a lottery pick for the NBA. If any NBA franchise chooses to draft that big boy from Purdue in the lottery, that GM should be fired, as Joe Clark would say, expeditiously. Zach Edey, thank God he's 7'5". That's all I can say. Thank God he's 7'5". But I had never seen a guy in the post get the ball taken away from him so many times. And it wasn't like folk were double teaming him all the time when the ball was taken from him. He got the ball taken away from him any way you could imagine. It happened. So I have to nope on the thought, the theory, the idea of Zach Edey being a potential lottery pick. What I'm going to say to every NBA official, Don't do it, or you may hear this.
You're fired.
All right, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. All right, I'm trying to help you save your job. All
Rev,
right,
you might have to
Coach.
go find one of them old Rocky clips or Rocky Vandal. Somebody said, "Don't do it, Rocky. Don't."
Don't.
So, coach, you might have to go find one of them old Soprano clips. Somebody said, "Don't do it, Tony. Don't do it." Woo,
Coach, what you got, man?
My note moment is gonna be in your neck of the woods, Rev, with the Philadelphia organization and the bobblehead that they put up of Allen Iverson. Are you seriously kidding me? Are you kidding me? What you picked the moment when he was bending over, dribbling and crossing somebody over to make a statue out of and say, that's it, that little midget statue you put of him? Philadelphia, golly, I know y'all are a different kind of people, but and I'm gonna go what Red said. Rocky's statue was bigger. Come on, man. That's one of your franchise all-time players, and you do bobblehead night to honor him. And Allen Iverson, you actually kissed that statue. You probably could have stood over it, as small as it was, and could have picked it up like it was a trophy. Come on, Philadelphia, you got to do better than that. That was terrible.
It looked like a trophy, man. He could have took it home, man.
To the Sixers, when they put all those statues on the Legends Row, all of them were small.
I mean,
in defense,
real, you should have went down there and unblessed that right there. I do not bless this idiot right here.
Oh my goodness, you're crazy. All right, man. I am coping with the fact that we are now in an era of college men's basketball that shows us how it's not a great sport to coach anymore. When the University of Kentucky, one of the blue bloods of college basketball, has to resort to getting an alum who is not that accomplished, besides winning 4 or 5 20 seasons, had 4 or 5 20 seasons, 20 plus win seasons. That shows you that, number one, college basketball, men's that is in a major transition, because we've already seen the likes of Coach K, Roy Barnes. What's Roy's name? Roy Williams. Roy Williams, Jay Wright, all of those guys have already retired. And college basketball, men's that is not very desirable product to coach anymore. And we see that Kentucky's marketability has gone down tremendously when you go from John Calipari to Mark Pope.
The Pope.
How have the mighty fallen? So I think this is going to be a trend where we're not going to see big names in college basketball anymore, because the product is bad, number one. 2, nil. Transfer portal is not really something that your top-notch coach is going to deal with. So we already got a glimpse of it even in college football, but college football product is still great in comparison to the college men's basketball. So that's my spiel right there.
All right. Hey, it's not going to get better.
Well, yeah, and it's hard now, with the transfer portal. They can't renege on that. So it's going to be downhill from here. Coach, what are you coping on?
Oh, boy. My cope moment goes to, hate to say this, the Los Angeles Clippers. Not only do you have a hot, and I do mean on fire, Dallas Mavericks team you got to have play in the first round, but your superstar Kawhi Leonard is battling injury again for the Clippers. I mean, I don't know if he gets hurt this time of year on purpose, or somebody makes up something, or he goes in practice and doesn't want to play in the playoffs. I don't know what it is, but Kawhi, your team needs you, dog. they need you. Now here you go. And they used a nice little quote. He's battling a nagging injury. Whatever. If you don't play Kawhi, I tell you, it's time to retire. I mean, I ain't no need of trying to move it on any further. It's time to retire, go on out, and just let the Clippers alone and save them some money. Because, I mean, I got to see you on the court when they play the Mavericks, because you're going to need everybody against the Dallas Mavericks. And Luka Doncic and what's his name, and Kyrie Flat Earth Irving. I'm telling you, it's coming. So we'll see.
You got Harden, coach. Harden and Westbrook now.
Go ahead, Red. What are you coping with, man?
Well, I'm coping with not me, but all the sports world, and all the Caitlin Clark fans, or even the Caitlin Clark haters, really. What you're going to have to cope with is, if you're tired of looking at Caitlin Clark, well, you're going to have to cope with more and more and more of her, because she's going to be on your TV screen 36 times next season for the Indiana Fever. How many games do the Indiana Fever play? 40. So guess what? Caitlin Clark, you're going to see her play at least 95% of her games on TV next year. Those 4 games that probably not going to be on TV, trust me, they'll be all over the radio airways. I wouldn't be surprised if 92.9 had the Indiana Fever game on radio next season. That's how popular this girl is. So all the Caitlin Clark haters, you're going to have to cope with more and more coverage, because why? This girl is money. Give me that check, cash and sign, Rev. Ching, ching. So, hey, the girl is popular, and you're going to see more of her. But I don't mind, because I'm a fan. Come to Atlanta Dream. Why can't the Dream have the #1 pick? We need them to.
All right, man. Let's see what Reverend Knight Nation talk about. Feel free to chime in. Let us know your dope, cope moments. We got quite a few folk tuning in right now. Let's see.
Ready for OJ. Y'all ready for that OJ talk? Hey.
Here it is, the VP, doping on 18.1 million fans that watch South Carolina women's basketball team handle Iowa and the Caitlin Clark Holy Warriors.
Holy Warriors. Oh, my. Come on, Vince.
Jerry said, I hate to be simplistic, but I'm doping on University of South Carolina ladies for winning the NCAA championship and finishing undefeated. The VP double doping on I'm That Chick Staley, winning her 3rd Natty championship, becoming the only black coach, male or female, to win 3 championships. His triple dope is the Michael Clayton Harris making moves out here in the competition goals. God bless
Reverend
you.
Doctor.
Appreciate you. And then Jerry got it. Congratulations, Reverend Dr. Mike Clayton Harris. Hope your journey in faith and love with the guidance of the Lord. Appreciate you, man. The VP said, wow, she completed the home run cycle. I love it, Coach. Quadruple dope for her. Winston Thornton from the eye test. What's going on, brother? Glad that you're chiming in. And D, we want you to follow his advice. Smash that like button if you don't mind. Also, the VP saying he's noping on the shameless men out here that work tirelessly to disparage women's basketball players when they could never beat most of these ladies one-on-one. Punks and cowards are the terms I have for them. Put your foot on it, why don't you, VP? Pastor Melvin Watkins saying the women's college basketball is very exciting to watch. Why do you think this shift is happening in college basketball? I believe it's this simple, Rev. It's because of they have star power and men's college basketball doesn't. We were watching stars. We were watching future WNBA players and stars, whereas college basketball, we were trying to find one in a possible potential NBA players. Not stars, potential NBA players. So that's, I think,
players.
Yeah. The women of March Madness brought the fire this year. Folks weren't stoked about watching the men's chip after watching our men's chip for sure. Winston Thorne says Kisman's family is coming after the Simpsons estate to pay the penalty of the civil suit cause OJ never paid it. Rest in peace, Juice. What's up, Joe Black?
Joe Black.
Jerry's noping on Cam Newton sounding bitter about the Falcons signing of Cousins. I appreciate his honesty, but we will have to live with our front office decision. We'll talk about that a little later in the show. The VP said Philly wrong for that Oompa Loompa statue of AI. Jerry Martin's coping with Spencer Strider being out for almost a year with his injury. We're going to get to that. The VP says we know the women's player. They stay for 4 years, and we get to know the women over that time period. The women's game also exhibits basketball fundamentals, great basketball to watch. The men's players, due to the one and done, are as widely known as you're not that invested in them. That's my take, Pastor. It's a great take. You've expounded even more on what I expounded. You gave Pastor Watkins the full gospel, while I only gave him the simplistic one. All right. The VP is coping on Arkansas taking UK sloppy seconds. They hired a glorified recruiter. His only MO telling those single moms that he will get their kid to the league. Sad sounds by White. Tubby Smith could never shake in my head. Good morning, Donnie Rosser. Glad you're on it. Jared Martin said, Rev Rones, you're correct about Caitlin Clark. She is a great basketball player. Joe Black showing some love to Dr. Harris. Bless you, man. Appreciate you. David Burns watching from Cedar Hill, Texas, deep in the heart of Texas. Good morning to you, bro. Thank you so much for watching. And David Barnes says, rest in peace, OJ. And that's a great segue to our first topic for this week. OJ Simpson passes. The juice passes. The football player extraordinaire that everybody remembered from USC and played for the Buffalo Bills and was a baller in the NFL. And then those of us who may not have watched him play in his prime, we remember him from running in airports with those Hertz commercials before we knew such terminologies as branding and marketing. At one point in time, OJ was the biggest brand in NFL football. Everybody knew the juice. And then, like Humpty Dumpty, he had a great fall once he was accused of killing his wife as well as her wife's friend. So we'll put it that way. So, Coach, I'm going to start with you because did you become a USC fan because of OJ?
He was part of it. I like those guys, Sam Bam Cunningham. I like the USC tradition and how they were playing, and the blacks that were playing with him. He was a part of it. He helped out.
I thought I remember you saying something because I remember I had to ask you during the show, how in the world you're from Mississippi and you became a USC football fan, and vaguely I remember you mentioning O.J. Simpson's name. But go ahead, Coach. What are your thoughts, man? When you hear the name O.J. Simpson, what immediately comes to your mind?
You look at the guy for what he was, the first 2,000-yard rush in the NFL. He was big time in USC. He did what he did. I mean, he was a phenomenal running back in the days. As things that were going on back in there, and OJ came to the Bills, and you just wonder, and somebody asked the question, are the Bills going to do anything for him? I said, well, that remains to be seen. We won't worry about that. But, yeah, I think of him, that like Vince said, running through the airport of Hearst commercials. And I also remember him for some of the funniest scenes in those Naked Gun movies. Those were classics with OJ in those movies. He played a fall guy big time, and he was even so popular that I remember Ice Cube did a song about him. I had OJ in, and he said some of the lyrics was jumping over cans as I run through the airport to catch a flight away from the drama. Number 32 chilling in the Bahamas. I said, wow, you put all that in there. OJ was he was a Hall of Famer big time, one of the great backs of his time. And, I won't get into the trial because I know y'all might do it, but I just remember for the positive stuff. Rest in peace, OJ. He did what he did on the football field to a great degree. And like I said, the teams wasn't as great, but he was great playing for Buffalo.
Before I go to Red, not only did VP talk about Naked Gun, but y'all remember that First and 10 football show on HBO?
Yes.
That was a classic, man. That was a classic, First and 10. Matter of fact, I'm going to try to see if somebody's streaming that because that was a classic show. And maybe they're not because OJ was on it. Jerry says, rest in peace, OJ Simpson. He's bringing back Johnny Cochran. If the glove don't fit, you must have quit. and really, that trial made Johnny Cochran the worldwide name that he wound up being.
One of the most.
Even if black folk thought that OJ did it, we would ride with Johnny Cochran. We were riding
like
with
you
Johnny
said,
Cochran.
Rev, one of the greatest defenses in American history when he pulled those gloves up. Nobody could. Darden. That's what Red. You right. That's what Darden and Marcia Clark did. They just dropped their heads like, "Oh Lord." Oh,
wasn't it?
God.
I can't.
That's what the state did when they made that fool put the gloves on. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, like y'all remember that Goody Mob line? We can't say it. Where they said it expletive. Bump Marcia Clark. Bump Chris Darden. I think it's in Soul Food.
Mm-hmm.
That was my jam that I used to jam to right before a basketball game when I was playing at Morehouse. Come and get your soul food. I think there's a lyric in there referring to the O.J. Simpson trial where they were going off on Marcia Clark and Chris Darden. But anyway, Red, your thoughts, man. Matter of fact, before, because I know you the entertainment guy, Jerry wanted to include another film that OJ was in, The Towering Inferno was the first movie he saw OJ in. And then VP says, I was 19 years old when that verdict was read. Black America cheered, not for the murder acquittal, but because we had a major victory against the system. Rest in peace, Juice. No doubt about it. All right, Red, share with us your thoughts as OJ Simpson passes. What immediately comes to your mind?
Well, and don't forget that he was also in Roots too. I mean, OJ was in
that's
Roots.
right. Sure was. You're right.
Well, Real, believe it or not, when it comes to OJ Simpson, the first thing that comes to my mind would have to be consistency. And I'll tell you why. Like Coach said, OJ Simpson was a great NFL player, man. He probably put running backs on the map with his style, with the way he could carry a team, lead a team. I think this was back in the days when running backs were actually valuable. You know, OJ Simpson, first running back that had 2,000 yards, NFL MVP, like Coach said, Hall of Fame, commercials, endorsements. OJ was the guy. He was one of the first Black athletes that turned into a white athlete right in front of our eyes, you know. Like OJ wasn't even got to a point where OJ wasn't even considered Black anymore. So like I say, that's the type of guy, that's the type of rise he had from the slums of San Francisco to the cold weather, and to, like I say, from USC to the cold weather Buffalo. He put the Bills on the map. He was able to go back and retire with the 49ers, and like I say, he became an NFL Hall of Famer, great NFL player. He even tried, like Coach said, he even moved on to acting, became a decent actor, and appeared in Roots, appeared in Towering Inferno. Rev mentioned a sports show he had, First and 10. Had is probably the most popular part. 3 appearances in 3 Naked Gun movies. What was the name, Coach? Nordberg in it. 3 Naked Gun movie. And even a sportscaster for NFL and NBC, and one of the best ones too. I love listening to OJ talk sports. But the consistency, this is where the consistency comes from, Rev. And you got to give OJ credit, because as great as an NFL player he was, and as decent as an actor that OJ was in the early parts of his career, I mean, you got to give OJ credit, Rev and Coach. This dude became a heck of a career criminal in his massive years, in his later years. I'm talking OJ was great as an NFL player. You was, dude, you might have been one great career criminal after that. I mean, dude, from the time them cops knocked on your door about Nicole Brown Simpson, boy, that was it. Your life in crime had begun. And I mean, boy, what did we get? Entertainment abound. We get car chases, big time murder trials. I mean, even sociological things. I mean, what OJ did for race relations in this country. I mean, blacks, whites on opposite sides. I mean, it was about to be World War III when that verdict was read. Blacks had their opinions, whites had their opinions. OJ making nobody's famous. I mean, people we ain't even heard of famous. Little bums that staying in garage. I mean, and beach houses famous. Kato Kaelin, Judge Ito, Marsha Clark, Christopher Darden. Oh, let me not forget the Kardashians' dad, Johnny Cochran. All of these names becoming famous over this one trial, all thanks to this career criminal OJ. And when the trial was over with, when the World War III had begun amongst the country with the race wars, I mean, we probably have some black and white friends that probably ain't even talked to each other since that verdict was read. Like I say, man, OJ affected friendships. He probably affected marriages. He probably affected co-workers. All these folks were just living in harmony until OJ's verdict was read. And now we find out how people really feel. And now it didn't stop there, Rev and Coach. Oh, no, it did not stop there. OJ just living in life, say, man, you know what? Living in Florida on the golf course, that ain't enough for me. Let me create a gang. Let me form a gang and let me go get my stuff back from Las Vegas. They took my stuff away from me. I'm going to get it back. I mean, kidnapping, torture, armed robbery. Man, this dude's resume is going long, boy. That's about OJ. Boy, you are putting the crime in criminal, baby. And once he got convicted, 33 years in Las Vegas, eventually he got out after 9 years good behavior. Why? Because he OJ. He the juice, baby. And no matter how hard you try to keep him down, the juice is going to stay loose, baby. And that's what OJ did. He is the juice. He stayed loose. He has become one of the massive personality in American history, man. Like I say, when you think of OJ, it's no telling. It's a variety of things that can come through your mind. You can think of the great NFL player, you can think of the decent actor, and you can think of the career criminal he became later in life. Whatever you want, OJ got for you, baby. Sports, crime, entertainment, I got it all. You know what I'm saying? So, look, OJ, well, you have taken us on an interesting ride. You know, some, you know, love you and always they're going to be on your side. Some going to revile you and hate you. You always going to have the ones that think you were guilty. You always going to have the ones that support you and were there for you. But one thing about it, Rev and Coach, OJ is one interesting American character, and he took us, no pun intended, on one long, wild ride. We appreciate you, Juice. The juice stayed loose. Rest in peace, OJ.
All right, so I'm gonna let Red took my time, so I'm not even gonna go ahead on Red. Gave you from the sports all the way to the entertainment, to the court cases, to the jail time, and then basically to his death. So Red chronicled everything. I'm just gonna read these comments right here. Jerry said, I believe OJ was the first black to commentate on Monday Night Football. VP said the best OJ movement, the book he authored, If I Did It, Confessions of a Killer. OJ was the king of trolling. Trolling was a thing. Yeah. Then the VP said OJ forced the Ford Motor Company to discontinue their best products. The Bronco, which just made a comeback, but those old Broncos are gems. I actually have a Bronco Sport right now. He says a lot of OJ's critics would have traded places with him in a heartbeat. Dude lived a hell of a life. O.J. Simpson was the juice. O.J. equals a O.J. equals a polarizing character, period, for sure. David Burns said, when I heard O.J. was not guilty of the murder charges, I knew the Goldmans was going to be upset when that happened in justice history, for sure. Yeah, I mean, O.J.'s name will never be dead. It's going to be always remembered, good, bad, indifferent. And, we just pray for his children and his family. Despite how you feel about O.J. Simpson, the reality is his family still needs prayer. That's their loved one who went home.
And can y'all please stop trolling these children? I mean, come on now. Whatever you feel about OJ, the children and the family have nothing to do with it. Don't be trolling. It's very disrespectful, and you should be ashamed of yourself, and it should be unacceptable. Leave the children alone. Kids off limits.
And Rev, in his diatribe, Red did he forgot one person.
What's that?
The bestest friend in the whole world, Al Cowlins, baby, who drove who said, I'm not gonna let my man go down. That's my boy.
That's the true definition of ride or die. Dr. Rev, read that comment about the movie he played in back in 1977. Okay, I see it. The Juice also played a character called Woodrow York in a 1977 movie, The Killing Affair. You can't make this up. The Juice is polarizing. He was a good-looking dude that was dang good at his craft. Heisman Trophy winner. Advertisers capitalized on it. Yeah. All right. Good morning to you, the Dixon Way. Glad to have you. Thanks for tuning in. AAC was a definite ride or die. Yes, and Joe Black said, I just want a Bronco hearse.
Here you go, Joe Black. I saw that picture. I'm like, come on, y'all.
Oh, man. Let's shift gears to a topic that we don't have to try to find and feel our way through. Last week, we know we had 2 champions crowned. Well, this week, rather. South Carolina's women won the women's championship, and UConn won the men's championship. South Carolina went on to complete their undefeated season. So we know that everybody is high on Dawn Staley. I got a question. What was the bigger story? And I'm going to type this out. Was it South Carolina and Staley or Caitlin Clark? What was the bigger story? And I think we're gonna get a little energy right here. What was the bigger story? South Carolina and Staley or Caitlin Clark? Ooh. Who wants at it first?
Ooh. I'll go. Oh boy. Woo. I mean, let's look at the parallels. Iowa and Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark was a darling this year. She was the leading scorer. She was the leading assist person in NCAA. She took Iowa back to the championship where nobody thought they wouldn't, but they got back to the championship. And even though they didn't win, Caitlin Clark captivated everybody with her shooting and her record-breaking achievements and everything. But on the other side, you got Dawn Staley, who took a team that lost every starter on the team, and redid a new lineup, came back, went undefeated, won the championship, took revenge for that loss. They lost to Iowa last year. Dawn Staley went out and said, hey, I need some shooters. She found some shooters. Dawn Staley went undefeated. That's the second time pretty much that she's going undefeated for a season almost in her career. So I'm going to give the edge to Dawn Staley. I mean, Caitlin Clark captivated everybody all year, but when it came down to the finals, Dawn Staley did the job with an undefeated team. And like I said, a totally new team. Iowa had everybody coming back, but Dawn Staley had a totally new starting lineup. They came in and finished the drill and won. So it's just like right now the Trump-Biden election. Biden is leading by a point over Trump in overall voting. So I'm going to go just like that with Dawn Staley's story over Caitlin Clark.
All right, before I bring in Red, Alexis Hill says Caitlin Clark. Let's see. It had to be Clark not winning because of the media's obsession for wanting to crown Clark and I were champions. The NPOTY needs a chip to be considered amongst the greats. This is coming from women's basketball greats, not just my opinion. The ratings were high because they wanted to see if the media darling could cap off her career with the chip. Meanwhile, South Carolina should have been the bigger story, but it wasn't. Shameful. The Dixon Way says Caitlin was the biggest story in women's or men's basketball, period. Shout out to Dawn Staley for creating a dynasty at the lowly South Carolina Gamecock School. She might go on a Geno run. All right, and Joe Black said, I'm just upset nationally. We talk more about Iowa than South Carolina. One news outlet even had a picture of the Iowa team while announcing the Gamecocks victory. All right, going back to the questions, Red, what was the big story? South Carolina, Staley, or Caitlin Clark?
It personally would have to be, excuse me, it would have to be Caitlin Clark. And honestly, thanks, Rev, for playing those three comments because all three of those guys took all my meat. Everything they said was wrapped up into what I was going to say. Those last three comments, Larry, Vincent, and Joe. I'm saying, look, everything Coach said is right. South Carolina had the undefeated season. They bounced back from the losses last year. It was Dawn Staley and all the historical, legendary things she accomplishes in her career. The Cardozo Gold, the Raven Johnson, all the star power that the South Carolina Gamecocks have. But even in the end, even with the undefeated season, with all that what we just said, with all that what Coach said, people still was talking about Caitlin Clark even in defeat. If you didn't watch, if you was looking at SportsCenter after the game, you would have thought Iowa won the game because that's how many people were talking about Caitlin Clark even in defeat. When the girl wins, they talk about her. When she loses, they talk about her. No matter who she's up against, whether it's a big team, elite team, undefeated team, legendary team, guess what? You ain't stopping the Caitlin Clark show. It is Caitlin number one, everybody else number two. When Caitlin ceases to exist or become boring or she ain't the story no more, or maybe go crazy and kill her own fame, which I doubt she'll do, then she won't be the story. But as long as that girl is shooting hoop and popping jumpers back, if she goes to the Indiana Fever and still doing that, if she becomes the Steph Curry of the WNBA, I'm sorry, we're going to be talking about this girl for a while. So the bigger story was, and always will be Caitlin Clark.
Red has spoken. Let me see what the comments have to say. Congratulations to Dawn Staley. I wish much success. 0 bench points from Iowa. The VP, I'll give flowers where deserved. Clark had to show the major popularity of women's basketball this year. She brought men and women to the game that didn't watch before. She was polarizing. I will always give her props for that. She's a great shooter, had an unbelievable first quarter. But the Raven, the Microwave Johnson, shut her down. She only allowed 7 points. She stole the ball from Clark 4 times, blocked the shot twice. Raven got her lick back. The Dixon Way says Caitlin will be the WNBA Larry Bird. They better promote her correctly to grow their sport the correct way. And Jerry says, congratulations to women's basketball.
If they fail to promote Caitlin Clark, then that WNBA commissioner who was on our TV screen yesterday, she needs to be fired. This is your cash cow. You have got to take advantage.
She can't do anything until she's actually drafted. So they are already preparing for her to be the cash cow for the league, because there's already reports that when they play the Las Vegas Aces, Las Vegas is already planning on taking that game to a larger venue where it has 6,000 more seats. Then if you look at ticket prices, because I was thinking about either going to see her play the New York Liberty, which is 2 hours away from me, or the Washington Mystics, 2.5 hours away from me. The ticket prices for the Indiana Fever versus those two teams are already 4 times the regular amount that you would have to pay to go see a regular season game at either two of those venues. So they already see that she is money, 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 money. Before I talk, Uncle Steve, what's going on, man? Glad to have you. He says Caitlin Clark is the biggest story. Truth is, no one is talking about women's basketball. Clark isn't doing a thing. Even Coach Daly recognized it on a championship moment. Stop the cap, folks. And I think that's the best line of the day. Stop the cap, folks. I think we as Black people have shown our racism towards Caitlin Clark in this particular situation. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. If Caitlin Clark were Black, we would be singing her praises if she were in the same situation as Caitlin Clark. The reality is Caitlin Clark is not being pubbed up because she's white. Right. It's because she can play, number one. Period. That girl is the best women's basketball college player in women's college basketball, hands down, and she's probably been that the past 2 years. Period. It took 10 women from South Carolina to be able to beat Caitlin Clark in Iowa. If Caitlin Clark had 2 of South Carolina's bench players, how different this game might have been. I mean, here we got to think about it. And this is what was bothering me, because you got to give Dawn Staley praise. She is that stuff now. She is the top coach in women's college basketball, hands down. What she did, what Coach alluded to, is phenomenal, or was phenomenal now. She brings in a whole new starting 5, whole new system, because Aaliyah Boston was her top player. Everything ran through Aaliyah. She changes up everything, has a new 5, and she goes undefeated for the second year in a row for the regular season, and then they win a championship. You can't deny that. But here's why Caitlin Clark, in my opinion, is the biggest story. Because when Dawn Staley won her first natty, guess how many people watched? 3.8 million. When she won her second natty in 2022, 4.85 million watched. When she wins her natty this year, 18.8. Her audience quadrupled 4 million times 4. That wasn't because Coach Staley was this great coach that everybody wanted to see. We already knew that 2017. We already knew that 2022. It was because of her opponent, who she was playing against. And women's college basketball started getting the audience last year when Caitlin Clark beat South Carolina in the Final Four. That's when we saw 8 million, 9 million people watching. Then when she lost to Angel Reese and LSU, the numbers went up a couple of more million. And then she was selling out arenas all year long, wherever she went. It wasn't because Dawn Staley was on the other side coaching. No, it's because she had that brand. And the bottom line is, she is Larry Bird, the girls' version of Larry Bird. And nobody can deny Larry Bird was a baller. White, black, red, yellow, whatever. Bird was a baller. We might not could stand him, because we knew that the race tension was real big in the 80s with the Magic and Bird. But regardless of Bird's color, that brother could play some ball. Yeah. And this sister, Caitlin Clark, can play some basketball. You could talk about somebody like Christian Laettner getting a boost because he was white. We could argue that, right?
Yeah.
We could argue somebody like a J.J. Riddick getting his due because he's white. But Caitlin Clark, I don't care what color she is a bona fide baller and one of the best women's basketball players I have ever seen in my entire life. So that's why when I was getting frustrated seeing folk saying, why are you talking about Caitlin Clark after Dawn Staley won a third championship? Because there were more eyes that watched Dawn Staley win a third championship because of Caitlin Clark.
Right. They didn't watch
Dawn
us
Staley's legend became even greater because she had a greater audience, not because of her coaching, but because of who she coached against. That's why the least thing you could do is deny Caitlin Clark. If you're going to shout out Dawn Staley, feel free. But you got to put Caitlin Clark and say, thank you, Caitlin, for putting more eyeballs on the screen. And that's why I love Dawn Staley, because Dawn Staley said, listen, she shouldered women's basketball. In other words, she took it to a whole nother level that none of us, and there have been great white players before her now. Breonna Stewart, Diana Taurasi, Sue Bird. But none of them has captivated America like Caitlin Clark. Period. All right, before we chime in, there's some comments. Caitlin was the biggest story in all the college basketball, men and women. What's up, Ron? David says Caitlin Clark was the biggest story. Bird was a hooper, and he had my name. Jerry says, Rev, those numbers are mind-boggling. Wow. Uncle Steve said, they don't want to hear you, Rev. Spot on. VP says, facts, Dr. Rev. That's why I can be objective and give Clark her flowers. Folks are delusional if they say otherwise. It is what it was. I'll also say this. Iowa had the toughest path to get to the championship game. I prayed that Iowa would make it through. The only way they could see us was in the championship game. The country wanted to see Clark, South Carolina matchup just because I agree. Get this, 18.9 milli watched on average at its peak. The ratings hit 24 million. I promise you that peak occurred when Iowa had us down by 10 in the first quarter. I would agree. Also, folks need to know this. Dawn said that Clark did wonders for the women's game the last 2 years. Y'all give her them props. She earned it. Dawn gave her the props. So should those who are doing otherwise? David said Larry Bird was a crap talker, but he backed it up. He would tell you what he was going to do to you on the court. Now it's up to you if you didn't take them serious or not, because he will embarrass you with the dribbling crossovers, no doubt about it. And Nando says, great show, fellas. Excellent topics. What's good, Red? And great commentary on OJ, too. Appreciate you, Nando. Coach, you seem like you had your Baptist finger up wanting to say something.
Yeah, you made me reverse my polarity and give Caitlin Clark the lead. The polls have changed. Caitlin Clark has just took the lead. 55 to 45%. But I'm finna get the VP. He made a statement and I'm gonna have to call him on. He said, National Player of the Year, to be great, you have to win a championship. No, you don't. Lynette Woodard didn't win a championship. She's an all-time great. Dawn Staley herself never won a championship. She's an all-time great. So VP,
she won 2 Naismith Awards.
Yeah, you saying that about she had to win a champion to be great? No, she doesn't. I had to call you out on that one. I heard that and I said no. And that's what a lot of people were trying to say, Red, when you were talking about on social media and everything. She's a 2-time loser. She can't be one of the greats. That's crazy. You out of your mind. She doesn't have to be a champion to be a great individual basketball player of all time. That's where you're wrong. And that's where a lot of people, blacks mostly, was talking about. Angel Reese beat her. She ain't better than Angel Reese. You got to be crazy. How is she better than Angel Reese? Seriously? Come on, watch the draft on Monday and see who they pick first, and then you can come back.
Go ahead, Red.
Yeah, I'm with Coach and Real on this. Definitely what Coach said, because if you think Angel Reese better than Caitlin Clark. You crazy. And number two, like you say, you just gotta you gotta realize Caitlin, certain players transcend championship. Most of these teams, Dunn had the best team. Caitlin is the better player. And like Coach said, some great players just not gonna be able to go through that tournament and win them all. You don't have to win a championship to be a great college player. But I think Coach folks were saying, is she the GOAT? I think maybe some folks were saying to be the GOAT, she had to win the championship. And honestly, when we talk about Caitlin Clark, she's definitely one of the GOATs. So, and she didn't get a ring. So, like I say, for some people, maybe they had to win. Some folks that don't. Caitlin, she transitions the game, whether she won it all or not. So, I'm with Coach. Caitlin don't have to win a ring. Look what she did for the sport. She got us talking about it. This is one of our lead topics right here. Us talking women's basketball. The WNBA is about to soar thanks to Caitlin Clark. If they can just get a few more stars in that game like her, woo, WNBA might be on the come up. But she definitely finna have more eyes watching.
So here the VP clarifying what he was saying. Coach, read my comments. Those are opinions from other women's greats, homie. It's my opinion, but the greats like Breanna Stewart said so. Argue with their mom.
No, Vince, I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about the statement you made. That's what I was saying.
So he was saying the statement he was saying was that he was borrowing what some of the WNBA greats were saying about Caitlin, saying that she wasn't the GOAT.
No, it wasn't directed at you.
It sounded like you were directing it right because you said, let me correct you, Vince.
Some of them WNBA players, they better be quiet. Y'all better stop hating on my girl. Y'all better be on y'all knees thanking her that she coming to your league. Because real, now watch. what did I post on my page, Coach Real? I said, yeah, they talking about Caitlin now for real. Watch when them contracts start going up. I bet they're gonna be loving Caitlin in when you start getting them.
Let's call it the Tiger Woods effect.
Right.
Even though them golfers used to hate Tiger, they wanted Tiger in every tournament because the purse went much higher whenever Tiger Woods was a part of the golf tournament. And that's what Caitlin Clark. Like I'm looking at, and like I said, I already shared earlier that I was looking into going to some games, Indiana Fever in New York, as well as in DC. There is absolutely no way they can charge almost 4 times the amount and keep Caitlin Clark at one of those standard WNBA contracts. It just ain't gonna happen. And if she has a smart agent, they need to negotiate something different, especially all the money that she's about to bring to the WNBA. It would be criminal that these owners make all this money off her and she sees none of it. It'd be criminal.
Ain't gonna happen.
Absolutely.
I'm telling my agent right now. We gonna have some negotiating because I know I'm gonna bring some money to this game. My first contract gonna be massive.
And Rev, right here in Atlanta, they might as well get ready. The Atlanta Dream, they ain't gonna be able to play in that stadium. They got to go to State Farm. They're not gonna be able to play in that little old stadium they in. No.
Right. No way. They might. Yeah, you're right. I was thinking that the other day. There's no way. They're not gonna even want all that traffic going down Camp Creek to College Park. I mean to Camp. They're gonna say, we moving Caitlin Clark to State Farm. That's what they better do because they gonna be able to afford it.
Yeah, it's a whole nother ball game, man. Clark says you need to get back end points like Robert Downey Jr. did with the Marvel movies, one of the smartest moves. Yeah, she got to get paid.
That one big deal.
And did you all see that all of the NBA Indiana Fever's games, besides maybe 4, are going to be nationally televised?
Real, that was my coach. You forgot?
Yeah. You talking about?
He did.
You coped on it?
Yeah, I said Indiana. Remember, I said all the folks that were gonna be coping with Caitlin Clark. You're gonna have to get used to it because the Indiana Fever got 36 nationally televised games.
Yeah. Okay, I must have tuned.
Don't worry. Go back and rewatch. When you do the rewatch of the show, you'll see it. But go ahead, you can expand on it. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, that just shows a legend. And here's the thing that folk don't understand: she's going to be playing with much better players in the WNBA than she was at Iowa.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Right. She already gonna have a Don Staley girl on the team.
Aaliyah Boston. That's going to be a heck of a 1-2. And then if she got any other persons who could shoot, oh my God, she's going to be dangerous. And that's what makes Steph so dangerous, because he had people like Clay that could shoot. For a while, he had KD who could score, shoot, handle the rock. You know, Draymond Green could pass. You know, when you put better players around a player like Caitlin Clark, that takes her legend to a whole nother level. So it's going to be really interesting. And the WNBA, they should already have a retirement fund for Caitlin Clark, because just this year alone, she's going to make more money for the WNBA, arguably, than the WNBA has made its entire history so far.
Right. Altogether. That's why they're talking about branching off on themselves. They're like, oh, we'll need y'all though, boy. You better shut up, girl. You got one person, you better get a few more Caitlin Clark. You need a few more Caitlin Clarks, but y'all go off on your own.
Yeah, for sure.
They don't want the NBA to get none of that Caitlin Clark money, but I'm sorry, we getting that. NBA get some of that money.
The NBA funded them so long, because if the NBA didn't fund them, there would be no WNBA.
And you see how they do it. You see how they do it when they get a little, they got a little cash cow coming. They want to get rid of the men. Oh man, we don't need y'all no more. Just you dope.
Bump that. Well, thank you, Harsh, man. Appreciate you, bro.
There's one person that's not gonna like Caitlin Clark, and that's the starting guard for the Indiana Fever. She going to the bench. She can get ready. She going to the bench.
You gonna be traded. You got to be traded.
VP say saw it in person. Indiana Fever has a 93% increase in ticket sales already. Had to take one shot at WNBA. How about this, Nando? She hadn't even been drafted yet.
Yeah. She hadn't even drafted.
She hadn't even been drafted yet. And that's the Caitlin Clark effect. Go ahead, Coach. Say the last word.
Yeah. That's gonna be the shortest draft moment in draft history, NFL or anything. That lady gonna walk up to the podium. The Indiana Fever select Caitlin Clark. Next.
It's gonna be more like this. Well, welcome to the WNBA draft. The Indiana Fever already has their pick in, and with the first pick.
The number two on the clock. Number two gonna start the draft on the clock.
Yeah, number 2. You might well start the clock on number 2 for sure. For sure. All right, gentlemen, we could make the UConn very simple. They were the most dominant team in men's college basketball. Simple. It wasn't much to watch. They dominated all their opponents. And, you know, Danny Hurley is building a dynasty there. And it's pretty remarkable, especially since the landscape of men's college basketball is what it is. And for him to be able to navigate the transfer portal and to put 2 dominant teams together that's far and above all men's college basketball teams is just a salute to Danny Hurley. He's the story. UConn basketball is a story. There's nothing else, in my opinion, that needs to be said about men's college basketball except Danny Hurley is that dude. He's the king amongst men's college basketball, and UConn is the most dominant college basketball team in this era. Is that all that needs to be said?
Rev, I'm going to ask you all this question. His starting center, Klingon, has declared for the NBA draft. Now, somebody has reported that he could be the number 1 pick. Y'all think so?
In a traditional year, I would say no. A regular year, no. But I mean, this shows how far men's college basketball has fallen off. I mean, do I think he's going to be a decent pro? He has the potential, because he can get up and down the floor. He has good footwork. Is he going to be a dominant player? Absolutely not. But who else? I mean, there was no star name. Like Zach Edey is it's not that great. I'm not saying trash. He's not that great.
The good Reverend doctor calling the kid trash.
Yeah, I had to realize he's still a college player.
Yeah.
So let me back up my language. But I mean, it's a crapshoot. You know, can we name 3 college players in men's basketball that we say are can't miss prospects? And Horace, what's up, Horace, from the Sports Roundtable? He said it's best weak draft.
I would say this is a more foreign-based draft that's going to be high on foreign players.
Hold on right quick, Coach. Nando, I wouldn't say he was an excellent college player. You're thinking about his brother, Bobby Hurley, if you talk about excellent college. Danny was decent at Seton Hall at best. He wasn't no excellent player. No. But if you're thinking about Bobby Hurley, that the one that played at Duke, that was his brother. That wasn't Danny.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Ahead, I was thinking for a minute.
Yeah. Go ahead, Coach.
I mean, you're looking at the what's the name? It's more of a foreign draft this year. And just like you said, you got good men's teams, but when you try to find a good player that could come out and be like a big time number 1 pick, lottery pick, it's not going to be a number 1 pick from college, I'll say, until like the 4th, 5th pick, maybe, if nothing else. Yeah, thank you, Dixon. We're sorry out of France that kid is gonna be big time. But the foreign players, I think, gonna dominate this draft this year.
Listen, listen. The NBA is teetering real closely to it being an international league.
What?
The international players have surpassed the American ball players. And so I haven't upgraded my PlayStation to a PlayStation 5 yet. I'm still playing 2021 in
well, you ain't upgraded the games, bro. The system is fine because I'm still on the P4. You just need to upgrade the games.
Yeah, I haven't upgraded the game. I'm still on 2021, but I play franchise modes. So I'm in like 2031. And this was the interesting thing. So once we got to 2031, even with the generated players, that the computer, most of the players that are being generated now are international players.
Wow.
Even in the video game.
Yeah. Even on the game.
Even in the video game. And we see
now, Real, let me ask you, when you playing the game online, do it have the updated rosters? Do your rosters get updated no matter what?
Yeah.
Okay. So you still have, no matter who, so they still upgrade players no matter what version of the game you have, you still have updated roster. Okay, well that's good. That's cool then. Still.
Yep. I mean, the bottom line is that's why Adam Silver, Dixon say, you don't want none. No, I don't want none. I haven't. Give me a year to get on the sticks. Now that I don't have school, and I'll come see you. All right, give me a year.
Hey, we got to televise that.
Watch this, Red.
Wait a minute.
Watch this, Red. Tell the coach it don't take me long, Coach. Let me get a quick start. Let me get a quick start, Red. And we're gonna go to halftime.
Red, when I played coach,
let me mute him.
Hold on, Coach. Let Rev tell me. Yeah, Coach gonna try to soften it up.
So me and Coach used to play during the pandemic, right? Okay. I didn't play at all. I hadn't touched the sticks for like 10 years. 10 years. Okay,
yeah, I remember.
So Coach had a PlayStation, right? So Coach got the NBA 2K game. I had never played. I promise you. Man, I got the sticks and we were living in the same apartment at the same time at that time. So
I remember.
Coach, and the game plan was he was gonna let me share the PlayStation to play during that time. So We played the very first time. I beat them by like 16 points. Needless to say, I had to go buy my own PlayStation because that deal went down quickly where we were going to share the PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
Coach didn't know what hit him once I beat him for the very first time that I ever played.
Now, Coach, you play the game, right? You let Rev come into you like that on your home turf, on your home system?
Let's clarify this, Red. First of all, I played NBA basketball very sparingly. I mostly played baseball. I played baseball a lot. I was playing with the Braves. I played a whole 162 game season with the Braves. So
you should have put in MLB the show. You should have put MLB the show in.
So playing basketball, yeah, that's what I played, MLB the show. But playing basketball, Rev came in and he thumped me pretty good. Rev had what happened really that he ain't telling y'all is one night when Rev had the PlayStation, he put some upgrades on his players illegally.
Oh my goodness, Coach, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
I thought he grabbed the play one night. I thought y'all just randomly played one day. I know that Rev got the game before.
Coach, you need to wipe your knees off and repent before you go to bed because you know you ought to be ashamed about what you said. All right, man.
Coach, you can't make up stories on the good Reverend Doctor now, the good Dr. Reverend.
No, he took to the game big time, and his players, my players forgot how to play, and his players, he went on to win several championships. And guess who his favorite player was, Red? Jonathan Kuminga.
Jonathan.
Okay. Well, what team did you have, or did you create your own team?
Well, now I didn't play coach with Kuminga at that time. When I started playing the season, I did. But Kuminga was part of that generated draft class that you could download from the YouTube codes, stuff like that, because you got people who be creating the players, stuff like that. So that's how I was able to generate them at that time. Horace talked about UConn playing for team, but no credit for South Carolina. I know on this show we gave South Carolina credit for being a team because I think we recognize that's why South Carolina was able to beat Iowa because they were a team versus Caitlin Clark being a one woman game. So I know on this show we definitely gave South Carolina their credit for being a team and what Dawn Staley did because I think we talked about how she went away from a starting five, put a whole new five together and went undefeated. So, we definitely have given Dawn Staley her credit and South Carolina because that's how they won. They didn't have that star player like they did when they had Aja Wilson when they won her first championship. Then you had Leah Boston, who was the star player, won the second championship. They were more team-oriented than ever.
That Camila girl, she might be a star. Boy, I am loving her.
God. Coach, I know why I read. You seen her pictures that she.
Get time out. Get time out.
Yeah,
I was liking her before the field. I was liking her when she played LSU and wow, put a flow
you like her even more after you saw her in the bathing suit. I know you. All right, let's move on.
Of course, real.
I know you. And Eric is spot on, man. They stress skill over games. AAU is killing U.S. basketball. We've talked about it on this show before, and you're spot on, Eric Neighbors, man. AAU is probably the worst thing that has happened to American basketball, even though there's some good AAU programs, but the top ones that are very much funded and a lot of guys are just caring about giving the kids merchandise and traveling and not developing their skills. That's what's killing the college game, no doubt about it. I think we're good. Hate to sound redundant. One and done needs to be abolished if they're 18 years old, who has 18 NBA talent they should enter the draft. If not, they should lose a year college eligibility, play for 3 years. I agree, man, that they should go with the way they do college baseball. That's how they do it in college baseball. You can go straight to the league, Major League Baseball out of high school. And if you go to college, you got to stay at least 3 years. That will help the men's game tremendously.
I don't know why they don't, because y'all gonna keep losing money. Don't blame us. Blame y'all. Because do it that way, it's not like we ain't gonna watch still. The fact that we knowing the guy gonna be there 3 years, but hey, if you morons want to keep supporting and endorsing this one and done, well, keep letting it destroy your sport because the ladies have taken over.
Yeah. Red, Brother Case has come to make his case against you. Red's turned into a dirty old man. The WNBA market, Caitlin, like NBA did with Bird and Magic, I think they will because they're going to hire somebody who knows how to do it because of all the money that they're going to make. So I don't think they're going to mess it up. Red has been evolving into a dirty old man. Do you? All right, man, let me go ahead on. NBA holds cards to that. Yeah. Well, the NBA got more incentive to market Caitlin Clark because the money that she's bringing in is going to be ridiculous. All right, gentlemen, let's pause, man. We have a lot of talk. We've talked a lot on today. We're going to pause for halftime of the Red and Rev Sports Show.
OJ and Caitlin just dominating our show.
Who would have ever thought women's basketball would take 30, 40 minutes on our show? Lord have mercy. I would have never dreamt it.
I would have never believed it. But that would never happen.
But that's where we are. Well, everybody, thank y'all so much. We talked about OJ. We talked about women's college basketball, a little bit about men's basketball. We still got some NBA action to talk about. We got a little baseball to talk about. So hang out with your boys. Red Rev Coach for the second half of the Red Rev Sports Show. We'll be right back. And we are back on the Red Rev Sports Show, coming to you to give you the second half of the show. We appreciate Reverend Night Nation keeping the comments live. You all are a very valuable part of this show. Dixon Way said, I'm sorry, I don't agree with y'all. If that young man goes sign up for the military at 18, they should be able to go 1 year in college and declare to the NBA. I think in some way we're saying the same thing, but you may be advocating 1 year in college, then go to the NBA. I think we're advocating go to NBA straight out of high school. And then if you decide to go to the NBA, to college, then stay 3 years. I think that would give a much better product to college basketball. Jerome K said Clark will not dominate the WNBA. Trust me. Are you saying ever dominate? Clarify your statement. Please clarify your statement. Are you saying ever dominate or dominate this year? That I would love to see the clarification. Okay. Give us that. The VP. Hold up, man. Where are we? Got lost with my comments. The VP said, I'm about to bounce. Have a great show. Rest of the show, fellas. I wish I could have been on. I'm being respectful other folks in this airport. Peace out later, man. We appreciate you, VP, for banging the gavel all the way from Memphis. We're praying traveling grace and mercy upon you as you get on that flight. Pray you get to Columbia safely. And again, the Dixon Way, appreciate you, bro. Keeps on encouraging people to smash that button. And why don't you share the broadcast? Let somebody else know what's going on with the Red and Rev Sports Show. All right, let's get into it, gentlemen. It's our pleasure, VP, our pleasure. All right, gentlemen. Red in particular, are you ready, sir, for the Braves report?
Let's do it. Unfortunately, let's do it. Let's have it.
All right, let's get it going with the Braves report. You're on in 3, 2, 1.
It's game time. It's GT.
I'm about chopping up, stabbing myself in the heart with a knife. Because that's what it feels like happening to us, man. We doing it to ourselves. That's right, Alex. Time to rant on you, baby. Never thought I'd have to do this. But yeah, I'm going to do this because you, Alex, have been twiddling your thumbs, sitting on your butt, just acting like your pitching staff didn't need nothing. Like, dude, we good with the pitching staff. No, fool, you good with the offense. Your offense you can sit on your butt with. You can rest, do like this. When we talking about my offense, ooh, I can kick back, I can kick my feet up because I got bats of cages. I got bats coming out everywhere. But your pitching staff, Alex, was not like that. And you have been around this whole offseason with your pitching staff. I mean, now, Spencer Strider, our ace, our number one Bunku, Tommy John surgery, out for the year, probably out for next year. I know we won 8-1 last night, Larry, but that ain't the point. The point is that we are one man down. Do you know we're trying to win the World Series this year, and we just lost one of our important pieces. We just lost our number one guy, our ace. You didn't go after Snell. You didn't go after Montgomery. You didn't go after none of these pitchers who was out there who could have added something to this pitching staff. So look, to me, you can't never have enough pitchers, okay? Now, if you were hamstrung through the salary cap or maybe the people in charge didn't give you enough. See, that's what I'm saying, okay? Yeah, I figured that, Larry. It was salary cap. But he the one always saying, man, I'm good. The bosses will give me leeway to do whatever I need to do. Oh, really? To do whatever you need to do? Well, did that pitching staff need improvement? So obviously you're not doing whatever you need to do, Alex, because that pitching staff needed more than just one trade from Chris Sale. All right, let me calm down, Larry. You're right. Probably not to get so worked up because the season just started. And it's better to have this injury early than to have it later. But yeah, you're right. We definitely need some more pitching. We're going to go out and make a move now. Now we got to sit back and scout all the sorry teams. Everybody who out of it early, who's the best pitcher on the sorry team? Because that's what we're going to have to do now. We're going to have to go make a move. All right. Now, other than injuries, other than our losing our number one guy, we actually had some games this week. And how did they go? Well, a little up and down. Why? Because the pitching was a little up and down. It's like once we got the news about Strider, well, next day you think Reed gonna come in and have a good day. Nope, he get rocked again. The day after we get the Strider news, he get rocked. Luckily, the offense bailed him out, so that didn't kill us. But the next day, oh, we got killed with the bullpen. I mean, the bullpen let us down. Then we had a good start from your boy, Reynaldo Lopez. Good job, buddy. We're going to need more of that. And then what happened on the day game? I mean, Alex Winans, you're sitting down there in Gwinnett, waiting on your opportunity. Woo, I finally get called back to the show. Bull Durham no more. And what do? You go out and give up 6 or 7 earned runs. Boy, if you don't get your sorry butt up out of here, take your butt back down to Gwinnett. We don't need that up here. God, 16-4. What an embarrassment. We got beat down at home. so embarrassed over that loss. Like I say, Braves fan, it has just been a up and down week with us. Now, of course, like Larry said, we bounced back and won last night against the sorry old Marlins 8-1. Free bounce back, went 6 strong, 1 earned run. Thank you, man, because you know we need you, Max. So hopefully we'll get our groove back, Rev and Coach. We'll beat up on the Marlins this weekend and get back in a little rhythm because we were all out of whack this week, all out of rhythm. And Max, if you think you're going to get away with that, just wait till we play you again. I hope you enjoyed your little 16-4, Max, because I promise you, we're going to get our revenge, baby. I wouldn't be surprised if we have a game, we score 20 on the Mets. We are going to get our revenge for that embarrassment you did us Thursday. I promise you, we coming, Mets. But in the end, Rev and Coach, it was just one of the up and down week, emotional week. You know how fans feel when you lose your number one guy. So we got to go, like Rev told me earlier this week, we got to make a trade, got to go out and find another pitcher. I think if we just get a decent, solid guy to go with Fried standing strong, to go with Sale doing his job, to go with Coach, your boy, Uncle Momo, need him be a little consistent too. Offense, you got to stay on point. You can't have lulls where you're not scoring because we're going to need you all season long. But that being said, I trust my Braves. I know my Braves. I love my Braves. I know we're going to be right in the thick of things all season long. So we still first place. And, you know, that's pretty much how the week went, y'all. It was just an up and down week. So Red had to come on here and let these emotions out because I, for one, was very disappointed how we were handling our pitching staff doing free agency. And I was just praying something like this didn't happen, and something like this did happen. So that's why I'm a little emotional, y'all, because I was sensing this when we were kept twiddling our thumbs with we had plenty of pitchers out there we could have signed. So that's why I'm so upset right now, because I knew if something like this happened, it would possibly set us back, but not too much, because like I say, it's early. We can handle this problem early. It ain't even May yet. But Braves, you know what you got to do. Offense, you got to keep balling. We got to find another pitcher. Still, let's go. The journey for the third ring is still in effect, baby. Go Braves. Sorry, Rev and Coach talked too long, but you know, when we have a week like this, I got to get it out. Go Braves. Mute, Rev. Mute. Can't hear you, Rev.
My bad. We have quite a few comments people have shared, and I definitely share Red's sentiment about the pitching. I think that was our biggest concern coming into the regular season for this year. And if we hadn't learned anything from the Phillies, is the importance of pitching. I mean, that's why the Phillies have won, beaten the Braves the past 2 postseasons, because they've had better pitching than the Braves. And then, you know, you can't just rely on Spencer Strider. And then you up there trying to say Chris Sale, who's injury prone, is ridiculous. And I have to agree with Horace right here. Not signing Blake Snell was a mistake. Now you're not going to sign Fried. And here's the problem that I'm having with the Braves. And even double A, he's been phenomenal. We can't deny it. He won that World Series in 21. Not Snicker, Double A did with the trades that he made. But here's the reality. Whoever is scouting these pitchers in AAA, they have given these guys too high of a grade. Yeah. Because I'm starting to believe that the Braves did not get like a Blake Snell, who had just won a Cy Young and was out there for the taking, or didn't sign some other players or trade for certain players because they're so high on people like AJ in the
Smith Shaw.
What's his last name? Strawberry. Yeah, all those AAA guys who are nowhere near ready. And we just saw how those guys, you know, we thought Soroka, and at one point Soroka was that dude, but injuries, and then other cats that we thought were going to be great. Like, we're valuing AAA pitching too much. Like, let's get some bona fide starters, a bona fide veteran like the Braves did back in the day when they were at its peak. They brought in Greg Maddux, and that helped set the tone. That allowed a John Smoltz to evolve. That allowed a Tom Glavine to evolve. Let's get somebody who is tried and proven if they didn't come up in the Braves farm system, so that these younger guys can have somebody that they can lean on and learn from. Because we don't have those dominant pitchers. I mean, Strider is coming in year 2, year 3, being the most dominant pitcher we have. I can see why they might not be high on Fried, because Fried been here 5-6 years and still has not been dominant. He's shown signs to be dominant from time to time, but he's never had a dominating season since he's been with the Braves. So that's why signing a top-notch starter is of utmost importance. At least sign one guy to a $30-35 million contract. At least one guy who could get you 2 wins in the playoffs. Because that's when you need that $30 million guy, when you got that best 4 out of 7. Mm-hmm. So I don't understand why AA is not making that move. But go ahead, Coach. You got anything you want to add? Dylan Cease. Trade. Why not trade for him? Coach, you got anything to add?
Braves won last night. That's all I got. Because, you all have covered it from bell to bell. And it's a good thing. I think one of y'all said it, that you got such a prolific offense, but they may not be able to save you all year. They're gonna hit, but you can't rely on them all year. You got to have that balance. You got to have that pitching, and then that hitting. The Braves gonna score, but they shouldn't have to score 9 runs a game to win games. They shouldn't have to do that. They should be able to come out there and say, get 4 runs and say, okay, my pitching gonna hold it down, and that's it. So that's gonna be the big thing going forward to the postseason.
Yeah. Jerome Case makes a good point, about the Braves being a public traded company, and I could definitely see his point. They may be. I won't be surprised if they're sold in 2 years, and I hope they are sold to somebody who doesn't mind spending a lot of money. And Harsh, you're spot on, man.
Tyler Perry, come on, baby.
No, leave Tyler out there. let him try to buy BET, not the Braves.
Okay, that's right. That's right. Let him say entertainment, which you can't do right there.
All right, man, let's get to this 5 for 5. We got 5 topics where we spend 5 minutes, no more than 5 minutes on. Red and Coach will have 45 seconds to talk, single screen, then 15 seconds additionally with group screen. If they go over that minute, they get muted. So y'all can feel free to chime in during their 1 minute that they use, and we'll come to your comments right after they get through. And if there's anything to add, I'll put my little 2 cents after they get through. So we know that the VP is on a plane. If he were not on the plane and if he were tuning in, he would type these 2 words right about now, Q Lunits. So that's what we're going to do in honor of the VP. And here it is. So we got 5 hot topics. Let's get to it. We're going to start with pitcher injuries in the MLB. We know that it hit home in Atlanta just this past week with Spencer Strider, and then there have been other pitchers in the MLB who have gotten hurt as well. So what says you, Red, about these pitcher injuries? 3, 2, 1, go.
I have absolutely no idea what's going on with the elbows. I mean, every year, it's just like you got all these star pitchers going down with elbow surgery, which is quote-unquote Tommy John surgery. And it's just like you think back in the day, I mean, athletes were more durable back in the day than the athletes today. And I mean, we just need to get better doctors, better medical researchers, or better something to let us know what is going on. How can we keep these guys on the field? Because we paying them these big contracts, and then when the season starts, man, they're not even available. We paying you big money, we need you available. So something has got to be done to realize what is going on with these pitcher elbows and why all these surgeries required. I mean, so your arm should be able to handle a 162-game season. Going hard to a playoffs. They did it back in the day. You should be able to do it today. We need better research, better medical research.
Coach, what you got?
It's very simple. It's the pitch clock. You rushing these, trying to rush the games to get them short. They want to shorten time, and you rushing pitches to throw. You're putting pitches on a pitch clock, and that's gonna have an effect on their arms going forward, trying to rush them. They don't get time to settle down and get their pitch right because you got them on a pitch clock, and if they don't throw, it's a ball. The pitch clock is the enemy of pitchers right now. They may abolish it.
All right. Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see what the fellas have said so far when it comes to this. And thank you, Harsh, for stepping in for the VP. That the way the Braves have win for pitch count, ruin baseball, learning. Harsh said, "Oh, what's up, Maceo? Learning the curveball to her. Need to allow your arm to mature before you learn to throw the curveball. Too much tension on the arm." Anthony Ray says training is key. Taking too many supplements. Pitch clock 2. I agree. There needs to be some research done to examine nutrition, conditioning, strengthening to improve pitchers' performance. So, Coach, are you making the statement that they need to do away with the pitch clock?
Yeah, I mean, I understand the games alone, but you rushing the pitch clock, right? Look, I mean, you hurting players, you hurting pitchers, but they don't want to get up there. Then next thing you know, they don't get time to look and say they got to keep throwing. Terrible.
All right,
Yeah,
Jerry says
I think I
agree
agree a
that
little bit.
there needs to be some research done to examine nutrition, conditioning, strengthening to improve pitchers' performance. Maceo says, in all this year-round baseball, rest your freaking arms.
Yes, exactly.
I will be pitching after the season, definitely. But yeah, pitch clock. I agree with Coach. Now, I didn't think about it. I thought it would help the game. But now you seeing all these arms being affected, and like I say, pitchers feel rushed. They used to pick, get back in their little rotation, even though we say like, man, come on, hurry up. But hey, sports is sports. Let them go through their routine now because if we get into we having injuries like this, they can go back to no clock. Let them,
Is it the pitch clock, or is it that these players have not been conditioned to pitch under a pitch clock?
Yeah, that's weird too. You're probably right. He probably
Because
with the pitch
I
clock.
think if that's the case, and because pitching is such a dominant part of the game, then they may need to really start thinking about adding the pitch clock as soon as high school baseball to get these pitchers accustomed to playing the game under these type of stresses.
Yeah.
That might make sense so that they can grow up being conditioned to pitch under those circumstances. Because I will say the pitch clock has definitely moved the game to be faster. And that's what baseball is fighting against because they want more action. It's good that you can't throw 10 pitches to first base anymore, which that could take 15 minutes in itself. So they got to find that happy medium because baseball was getting lost in the sauce because it's too much inactivity in a game. And that's why they had to speed the game up to keep up action. Unfortunately, pitchers have gotten the worst of the switch with the clock. But I think if they start putting the pitch clock in high school baseball, then that could help condition these pitchers to be able to be prepared for it by the time they get to Major League Baseball. All right, let's get on to the next topic, Red. Coach, you're up. Ohtani's interpreter is charged. They say look like brother may have taken about 16 million plus. What says you, Coach?
Well, it appears that he's an interpreter for a different reason. He taught Ohtani the word bet, and he taught Ohtani the word millions, I guess. So he said, I got him there. So now he'll know how much money I'm taking out of his account. So there we go. That's all I got.
All right, Red, what you got?
Hey, dude, do you think Ohtani can't count? I mean, I know he's an interpreter. I mean, just because he can't speak English don't mean he can't speak at all. He ain't dumb. I mean, the man can recognize when he misses 1, 2, 3, 4 million. First of all, 4 million. Now you don't quadruple that. 4 times 4 million, man. You don't took 16 million. Like, no, man. I probably thought about forgiving you with both, but 16 million, $20 million, almost a year's salary you don't took from me, buddy. I'm out here picking for free with you. No, man. You out of here, dog. 16. Real, I can probably forgive 4 million. 16. I gotta cut you off, man. 16 million thing, man. You trying to take a fortune. Why you trying to build your own empire, man? Can you at least ask me? Can you say, hey, buddy, I'm taking a couple of million. I took out, look, it's $700 million. I'm pretty sure he ain't missing 4. He probably ain't even missing 16, but still, man. Hey, can you get a little permission? I mean, old Tony probably would have took care of you for life, man. But no, dude, you just you gotta go.
He took care of himself.
Yeah, he took care of himself, man. I'm like, man, now if your coach was worth $700 million, you think I was still a dime real? I mean, I just say, Coach Red, just let me hold a couple of dollars. I would just ask y'all for some money. They ain't try to steal.
Yeah, for sure. All right, nobody wanted to touch that Ohtani thing, but I'm sure we'll get some comments here. Cam Newton speaks out again against Kirk, Atlanta's new favorite Cousins. He talks about him again. So, Red, remember, you got 1 minute now. Don't use up all your minute.
I'm gonna make
ready, set, go. What you got, Red?
Cam, you need to have faith for reality shit. I'm gonna go back one of these old school real folks. You have the right to shut it up. You understand? Shut up. Okay? What are you talking about, dude? Do you want to be an analyst? If you want to be an analyst, I'm sure ESPN or Fox Sports can find a spot for you. I mean, I don't know if you're trying to do that or if you're trying to talk your way back in the game. Cam, you need to realize that your career is over with, okay? It was over with when you went to New England and fizzled out. It was over with when you went back to Carolina and fizzled out, okay? No NFL team is wasting time with you, Cam. I don't care how many quarterbacks get hurt. I don't care how many young quarterbacks come and fail flame out. You are not going to get called. Your NFL playing days are over. Finished, terminated, canceled, done.
Coach, what you got?
See, the thing about Cam Newton is, even when he talks and makes sense, it gets drowned out by some of the nonsense that he starts talking about. And I mean, he makes a valid point sometimes. Then he starts talking about, well, people in space need rockets or something like that. So he'll say something very ignorant. They'll be like, what in the world is Cam talking about? The deal with him and Kirk Cousins, he should, let it go, Cam. Recognize that your season is completed. You have nothing. Nobody's going to call you. And just stick to, I don't know, go coach a high school team or something.
Jerry says, I like College Park Cam, but he sounds bitter that he's not playing in the NFL. Go live your life. Enjoy your money. Here's the reality. Cam Newton is what I would call a media whore. He likes to be in the limelight. Cam recognizes now that the players are living in a podcast age where if you say something, it's going to go viral, it's going to get clicks, and therefore it's going to make him some money. So Cam has mastered his new phase in life. Say something outside the box or controversial, and therefore folk gonna come see about him, which is gonna give him some click dollars, because we do know that they make money now based upon subscribers, viewership, and I'm sure in these clauses that Uncle Shay has, they are signing up for these interviews saying that they're going to get a certain amount because Uncle Shay is getting doggone 2-3 million viewers per episode. So I'm sure he's getting a nice check from YouTube every time people are coming on the show. So I imagine he's giving his interviewees a cut, because we know if Cat Williams didn't get a cut from that interview he did, Cat Williams would have said something by now. So we know Cat Williams got him a nice check, make him Shannon Sharp blow up the way he did when it came to Club Shay Shay. So Cam Newton is just trying to say something to stay in the limelight, keep people talking about Cam. He knows he has no chance of getting back into the NFL. But let me just say something controversial, and let me say something controversial about the town I came from. And that's going to get more people hyped about me in Atlanta, good, bad, or indifferent. He knows what he's doing. Nando said Cam made a lot of sense, but Red, Cam has to let it go. Jerome Case, Cam made a great point about the way injured black players are treated versus white injured players. Talk about the points and not the person. The bottom line is Kirk. We don't know how Kirk Cousins is going to bounce back or not. I don't know anybody who's like Carson Wentz didn't bounce back that well. After his injury, he got an opportunity. Cam got an opportunity too. So, like, I'm not really understanding the argument. I don't understand it, to be honest. I agree he's marketing his YouTube. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. That's what Cam is doing. Cam knows he has absolutely no chance of coming back into the NFL. Regardless of what you want to say about Kirk Cousins just performed decently last year before he got hurt. Am I excited about him being the Falcons quarterback? Absolutely not. But the bottom line is he just performed well last year before he got hurt. Do I think the Falcons should have signed him to 50 million? Absolutely not, because you don't know what he's going to be like after he comes off the injury. But he does have a body of work just last year that we can't deny. All right, on to the next topic, man. We got some new Hall of Famers. Vince Carter, Chauncey Billups, and what Cooper is this?
Michael
Cooper for the Lakers.
Michael Cooper from the Lakers?
Yeah.
Wow. Michael Cooper finally getting in. He was a defensive stalwart for sure. All right. Coach, what says you about it? Go.
Congratulations to each one of them. All of them deserve to be in. They all played great during their seasons. Like I said, Cooper was a defensive specialist. Billups won title. Vince Carter, his might be more longevity, but he was one of the most exciting players to play the game. And like I said, I do the shameless plug for Michael Cooper. He played for the greatest team in NBA history, the Showtime Lakers. I call it like it is, like I see it.
Red, what you got?
Thank you, Coach. Tip my hat to you. Appreciate that. Well, since Coach smirked up Michael Cooper, wanted me to add to it a little bit. I agree 100% with Coach about the team and the player that Michael Cooper was. Chauncey Billups, you deserved it. I hate how you won in 2004. I hate who you won that you won against my team. But hey, you earned it. And you proved it the following season because you made it back to the championship and lost a hard-fought 7-game series with the Spurs. So your era in Detroit was earned, and you deserve it. You put the Pistons back on the map when you were traded there. Vince Carter, like Coach said, was definitely longevity. I wish he could have played for more championship teams because he deserves a ring too. And to wrap it up real quick, like Coach said, Michael Cooper, LA Lakers, baby, purple and gold. Woo!
All right, and I'll agree. Mike Cooper was on that Showtime team, and he was a very valuable part, defensive player. I think Carter definitely got the longevity award. He went from half man, half amazing to a great three-point shooter by the time of his end of his career. And Chauncey Billups led an unsung team in the Detroit Pistons. Nobody would ever thought that they would have beat Kobe and Shaq along with Gary Payton and Karl Malone. Going back to Cam Newton, Jerome K said Cam didn't go to a team that stacked like the Falcons. The Patriots and Panthers were pathetic when Cam arrived. You gotta play with the hand that you've been dealt. And the thing that I'm having a hard time adjusting, not adjusting, but processing with your comments, you were on Caitlin Clark not being dominant, and she had trash around her. And that's the argument that you're making for Cam, that he had trash around him.
Yeah.
And then you want to make Cam this great player, but can't give Caitlin Clark her flowers. When she got the same situation Iowa that you said Cam went to with the Patriots and the Panthers. So
Why we
help
supposed
a
to act
brother
like
out.
why we
Yo,
supposed to act like he's a great player? I mean, he won one MVP, one Super Bowl. He went to one Super Bowl. Okay, but folks acting like Cam this like one of the greatest QBs of all time. Are you kidding me?
No, Cam was great at what he did. Once he could no longer run the ball like he was able to do, that's when his lack of accuracy in passing showed up.
Right.
Bottom line, once Cam could not run anymore, he was no longer that great quarterback. Dude, you conflating two. You want to say different things? I got you. Two different things. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. You basically making an argument. He went to trash, and basically saying his teams weren't that great. But a whole Caitlin Clark to a high standard, knowing she didn't play on a great team, and they're gonna talk about she's not gonna do well. He's not going to be great in the WNBA. I mean, I'm just throwing your argument back at you in a different way. That's all. That's all. Because it's the same thing. You're talking about not having a lot of talent. It's the same thing, just different sport. Not having a lot of talent around. That's your point. No matter, you want to say it's conflating two different things because you're talking about football, basketball, but both can be true. You're playing with trash around you. So I'm just throwing it back in your face. But my bad for doing that. My bad. Let's stick with Cam Newton, all right? And Dana Brickus. What's up, Dana? Glad to have you with us. Said, Rev, I agree with the title. Cam has always been for the media, even during his playing days. Cam don't care about playing the league. For sure. For sure. I have to agree with that. All right, on to the next topic, which is our last topic for 5 for 5. It's about to be NBA playoff season. And can the Nuggets be stopped right now? They are tied for the number 1 seed. We will see after tomorrow what their seed would be. They'll either be the first, second, or third seed. Red, do you believe the Nuggets can be stopped this year? And if you believe so, who will be the ones to stop them? Go.
Well, I'm hoping somebody stop him before my Lakers have to play him in the playoffs. If I'm being realistic, real, and not thinking with my heart, no. I mean, this team is just proving that they can handle everybody in the league. I mean, you might be good going into the game, but when you play them, they're going to give you a reality check. Whether it's Boston, Minnesota, OKC, Milwaukee, on down to the lower teams, ain't got a chance. I mean, this team is really have just let Jokic put that team on his shoulder and lead them to areas they just have not been. I would love for my Hawks to finally get a player of this caliber one day, because what Jokic is doing is amazing for the Nuggets. Can it be stopped? I hope so, Rev, because I don't want to see Denver go back-to-back, man. But it's looking like we might be on the stretch. I'm just hoping for my Lakers to make a little noise. And if not my Lakers, maybe the Warriors if they sneak in, maybe Milwaukee on the east side. But anybody but Boston, anybody but Boston. So I don't care if Denver win again. As long as Boston don't get that 18, I'm okay.
Coach, what you got?
I think they can be stopped, but the one team to stop them may not be healthy, and that's the Clippers. The Clippers can play with them as they've shown this year. They battle with them all year because the Clippers got bodies to throw at them. But right now, they I don't know if they got bodies, because next thing you know, Kawhi hurt, Paul George got an ingrown toenail, Russell Westbrook got foot damage, James Harden, his pinky finger is turned the wrong way, and then they'll be out of the playoffs. But I think the Clippers healthy can play with them if they play each other. I don't know if they are or not, but we'll see.
I think there are 2 teams in the East that can play with them. I think Boston could definitely play with them. I think the difference this year versus last year, Denver's bench was much deeper last year, and I think that may show up to show that they can be stopped this year. We can't deny Bruce Brown and what he meant to that Denver team last year. Jeff Green meant a lot of something to that team last year. So I think they can be had by a team like Boston. I don't really see anybody in the West taking care of them. But here's a sleeper team if somehow they can make it to the NBA championship. They got a long road to make to get there. But if the Sixers got there, I think the Sixers have a roster that could really play with Denver. That's if Embiid can stay healthy, because Embiid can match Joker point for point and even probably could exceed him point for point. And the Sixers have put some longer guys out there. They're much more athletic than they were during the James Harden and PJ Tucker years. So the Sixers, if they could get there, they could probably give the Nuggets a run for their money. But, I think with Porzingis in Boston, that helps out because Jokic has to have somebody he plays against who can score to make him work on defense. And if you don't have a person on the opposite team that can make buckets, then Jokic gets to rest. But he can't rest against Boston because Porzingis can shoot really well.
Yeah.
And he can't rest against Embiid. See, that the thing I would go against the Clippers, Zubac, he ain't much of a threat. Yeah, he ain't much of a threat. That's why I wouldn't necessarily put the Clippers up the perimeter, no doubt. But Jokic is going to eat up whoever the Clippers have.
I would take Milwaukee too if Giannis healthy. If Giannis healthy against the Nuggets, I'm taking Milwaukee.
Yeah. Horace says Dallas has the size, but they don't have the guy who can score. Like, I love Derek Lively. I got him on one of my teams on NBA 2K, but he can't score. You got to make Jokic play defense.
Yeah, you got to make him play because you rested.
Got to make him play defense. And if you don't have somebody who can make him play defense, it's a wrap. Rev Embiid doesn't have the heart of a champion, so my Sixers will not win a chip with them. That's debatable in terms of his heart. I think it's more so he's so injury prone.
Yeah,
but
I don't think he had a health of a champion. He got the heart.
That might be it. But I can understand what Jerome is saying, because some folk could say last year that was more heart than health why they didn't win the championship last year. So, I mean, there are people in Philadelphia who question Embiid's heart down the stretch. They question if he's truly a champion. And I don't know if we'll get to see that this year, because the Sixers got to come out and climb out a major hole just to get in to the playoffs, because they might be in the play-in. So we'll see. And Sister Dana loved your comeback, Red, about Embiid having is more about does he have the health of a champion rather than the heart of a champion.
If they healthy, I think he can make some noise, and especially without Harden. I think Harden kind of held them back this year. This year, without Harden and the team they got, it might be, you know what? Embiid being out these last few weeks, Rev, might help the Sixers, because he's coming back a little fresh now. Maybe saving all his bullets for the playoffs. And who knows, if the Sixers get on a run, as long as Embiid plays all the games and he can contribute, I wouldn't count the Sixers out.
All right, and Horace makes a good point. Put Joker in the pick and roll to make him defend. Yeah, but it's always good if you put him in the pick and roll with somebody who can score. And if you're not putting them in the pick and roll, like if you have Derek Lively from Dallas or Zubac for the Clippers in pick and roll, that ain't gonna do too much, because they'll just say, look, man, stay at home or something like that. So you gotta have two scorers in the pick and roll to really make a difference, to make Jokic react. All right, gentlemen, man, we gotta get ready to conclude this show. Who has the right to do what, when, where, and how? Red, you normally go first, so we're going to just let you keep that train going. Who has the right to do what, when, where, and how?
Okay, Rev, and I've been saving this one. I actually got one. Thanks to what happened last night in the NBA. Lakers, with all the disappointment you don't have for me this week, we are actually right in the driver's seat of where we need to be. I mean, Denver lost. Warriors lost. The Kings lost. Now, if you can just take care of your business, and OKC can win on Sunday to get them that number one seed, because they win tiebreaker, Denver, no matter. As long as OKC beat Dallas, we're going to be sending their starters. So OKC, you got to win. OKC beat Dallas, clinch that #1 seed. Lakers, you handle your business. Beat the Pelicans. Okay, now we in the 8th, maybe 7th seed. Now we just need to win one game to get in the playoffs next week. In one game, 8th seed versus #1 OKC. Lakers, you got the right to beat OKC in the first round. You better not lose to that team in the first round. That's the team I've been wanting to doggone play. And now it's working out perfectly for me. OKC wins Sunday. Lakers, you handle your business, handling the playoffs. Then we got OKC first round, baby. And that's what we've been wanting. Okay, so Lakers, you got the right to handle your business and don't embarrass me. We are still alive. We still got a chance for that 18. A lot of things got to fall our way, but I just did not want to see Denver in the first round. So you handle your business, let OKC win #1 in the West, and we got a chance, baby. So Lakers, you got the right to handle your business. Done, real.
All right, Coach, who has the right to do what and where how?
One Eldrick Tiger Woods. You have the right to scare some people today, like you used to do back in the days. You're not scaring them now, but you got the right to come out the gates firing and make a charge on moving day to day and get in contention. Even if you don't win, it's good to see you made it to Sunday. And let's see what you can do with this golf course on a nice sunny day.
And I'll conclude, since my money goes to this team, Philadelphia 76ers, you have the right to win on Sunday against the Brooklyn Nets and do what you got to do. Keep up your winning ways. You win tomorrow. That's 8 straight victories with Embiid, going in with a lot of momentum in the playoffs. You got a good chance at being the 6th seed, and you'll avoid the Celtics and potentially the Milwaukee Bucks in the first round, and the Milwaukee Bucks are compromised either. So you just want to avoid the 8th seed. And if you win on Sunday and get into the playoffs, hopefully you can avoid the play-in. But if you get in the play-in, I think you got a good chance to make some noise. So you have the right to win that game tomorrow, so that can put you in good position to win a first-round playoff matchup against whoever you play, since you will not be playing against the Boston Celtics. All right, gentlemen, that's a wrap. Let's see, we got a few more comments from Revenite Nation. They said nothing is impossible with this duo of Doncic and Irving. Winning a championship is impossible. You're not winning no championship without no big man who could defend Joker. I love the show they're putting on, but they ain't win no championship. Braves, you have the right to acquire some pitching when the trade deadline approaches, for sure. I don't think so, Red. My Mavericks is going to beat the Clippers in the playoffs. OKC will get defeated in the first round. Dallas Mavericks for the NBA championship.
I'm just talking about Sunday, David. I'm talking about Sunday. Just because y'all ain't playing your starters. You know, Red like cowards. They sitting out, David. So stop talking big. And your team too scared to play his starters the last few games. The Doncic and Kyrie been sitting out for 3 or 4 games. So stop talking big, okay, with y'all cowardly selves. Get out of here.
Red, here's something the case wants to make you get upset about. The Lakers have the right to get on that couch ASAP, draft Bronny, and watch Red have a conniption.
We'll take things one step at a time, Jerome. We got playoffs to worry about first.
Thank you so much for your subscription.
Woo!
Truly appreciate you. We truly appreciate it. Get some more sisters to join you in that subscription. We appreciate you. Definitely appreciate you.
Thanks for being here, Miss Diva. Red and Coach, we definitely appreciate you.
And Dana Bricker says, have a great day, everyone. Good having you on the show, Sister Dana. We'll hear more about you once the Eagles get back going. All right, everybody.
If you notice this, Dana, I ain't talking about the Sixers like I do your Eagles or your Phillies. I still hate them, baby. But I love me some Embiid, so I ain't going to be on your Sixers so hard.
All right, everybody. Thank y'all so much for watching episode 322 of the Red and Red Sports Show. The Dixon Way and Diva was up. Facts. Appreciate you, Horace, man. Thank you. Y'all make sure you tune into the Sports Roundtable. Horace has a great show. We truly appreciate it. We'll definitely invite you on the show, Horace. We'd love to have you on, man. We'll get you on sooner than later. Everybody, thank y'all so much for watching episode 322 of the Red and Rev Sports Show. We'll be back next Saturday. Same Facebook page, same YouTube channel. May the Lord bless each and every one of you all. Have a great day. And there go Jerome Case, want to be funny. Invite Cam to the show. We'd love to have him. Go make it happen for us, Jerome. All right. Take it easy, everybody. Have a great day. We're out of here. Peace.